Welcome to the School of Love, the place where miracles are normal. Hello and welcome to the School of Love, the place where we learn practical tools based on scientific research towards improving ourselves, living life to its fullest, and contributing to the best of our abilities to the world around us. I am Dr. Grajdian, and I'm a professor of media studies and anthropology at Hiroshima University. In my free time, I am doing my best to guide you in building up a life of contentment, joy, and fulfillment while applying lessons learned in school to overcome the difficulties, challenges, and insecurities of the real world. In today's video, I talk about procrastination in yourself. We all know those persons who promise to do things and then eternally postpone. But what if you are the one who procrastinates? Yeah, a very uncomfortable truth to face, but nevertheless, the truth is the truth. In this video, I start with a definition of procrastination and some of the causes of procrastination, and then I deliver a 5-steps protocol which helps you learn to deal with procrastination in yourself and hopefully in time to heal, at least partially, so that by the end of the video you will have a complete protocol for dealing with procrastination in yourself, if you choose to do so. It is important always to be aware of the fact that we cannot do things without deciding to do them, and this decision, this choice always comes from within. It cannot be imposed or coerced from outside. This protocol has helped me, although it took years to improve and I still catch myself doing things at the last minute. But at least I finished them on time, which is a huge progress in comparison with those past decades in which I pathologically postponed fulfilling my tasks and doing the things I had promised to do. And now, first things first, that is 2 important disclaimers. The first disclaimer serves to strongly emphasize the fact that this YouTube channel, the School of Love, is not part of my educational and research activities at Hiroshima University. It is nonetheless part of my privilege, joy, and sense of duty to propagate and implement knowledge, information, as well as motivation and inspiration outside the limited framework of academic endeavors. Together, we can build up a better tomorrow for as many of us as possible. The second disclaimer relates to the fact that I am a trained musician and musicologist, not a psychologist, therapist, or counselor. The ideas I am sharing in my videos reflect my deep-going preoccupation with life, my own life and other people's lives, and express the results of my experience, research, and for better or for worse, my failures and my recovery from those failures. Recovery which is still ongoing. The ideas expressed in the videos on this channel named The School of Love cannot and may not and must not replace the consultation with specialists in whichever areas of your life you might have questions or you might struggle with. If you are new to this channel, at this moment I would like to ask you to please consider subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting. Thank you very, very much. This helps us not only with that mysterious algorithm, which seems to dominate the YouTube galaxy, but also with contributing to the expansion of the community of humans doing their best to impact positively the world and those around them by discovering their authentic selves and living life wholeheartedly. Thanks again. And now back to today's topic, which is what happens when you procrastinate. So when you yourself are the procrastinator, and how to deal with it, how to solve the problem. I used to be a giga procrastinator, a professional procrastinator, and it took me years to advance at a level where I finish all tasks on time, even if I do it on the last minute, but nobody knows, right? So as long as I solve them, everything is fine. So this is why I'm sharing these ideas with you. They're practical, they work, and they're actually quite easy to implement once you know it. But it takes discipline and it takes perseverance. But anyway, there's no other way out than through the problem. So what is procrastination? Procrastination is this habit of postponing things. promising to do something, promising to be somewhere, and then and then postponing it, and saying, oh, well, I cannot do it today, but tomorrow or next week. And actually, that next week never comes, because every time you have something else to do, something very urgent, which simply forces you not to respect your commitment, your promise. So, and what is a procrastinator? A procrastinator is someone who procrastinates, who promises things and never follows one's promises. And as you see already, this is a very toxic behavior. This is a very antisocial behavior. When people are young, we tend to gloss over and think, yeah, it's young. Young people nowadays, in our age it was better. Young people nowadays, they don't know how to respect promises, how to respect a commitment. Well, you cannot do it. There's nothing to do about it. And yes, there's some truth in this. When we are young, we're experimenting with all sorts of things and see what works, what doesn't work. And this is part of becoming a functional, full-fledged adult. However, when entering the workforce and when entering, the real society, and when we are on our own procrastinating and being a procrastinator and gaining this reputation of being a procrastinator is very bad, and it is very destructive, and it can turn very quickly into an implosive force. So, how to deal with it? So the first step, as always, is awareness. So, either someone tells you, promising things is not good. Promising things and not following through is not good. It's really bad. I hate it. Or some people, more often than not, people don't tell you anything. They just vanish. They just stop talking to you. They just say yes, 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 and then you never hear from them again. So, but usually someone cares enough of you to tell you, this is not good. You should stop it. And the question is, that's the moment when you can think, so, but why am I doing it? Or so that person would ask you, this is not good, right? So why are you doing it? That's the moment when you can say, well, I don't know. But then later on, in the intimacy of your home, of your room, you can ask yourself, why am I doing it? And uncomfortable answers will come up. Usually we push down such questions, and we push even more deeply the answers which come from such questions. But actually what works is honesty. Being honest with yourself. You don't have to talk to anyone about this. You just with yourself. So why am I promising and then not keeping my promise? And then postponing and not even keeping it, but just tell people, yes, I'll do it, I promise. So what's going on here? So awareness is 95-97% of solving any problem, but you must be aware of the problem. You cannot solve a problem you are not aware of, right? And the second step is identify the trigger. So why do you promise things and then postpone? And the trigger is you don't want to say no, which goes in the direction of people pleasing. The thing is you don't want, you have no idea, you just want to say yes, to agree with those people. You don't want to hurt them. And well, it's nice to be asked to do things or to be somewhere. You feel important. You feel that you matter. This is number 3. This is the payoff. This is how you keep doing it. But actually afterwards you realize, well, it's too difficult, or I don't want to do it, lack of discipline, or well, it's too complicated, or why would I do it? Again, resentment for being asked to do something. So there are all sorts of mechanisms which actually point either towards a trigger. So people ask me to do things. This is a trigger. People ask me things. People invite me to places. People contact me. And the payoff, well, apparently I'm very important to them. I matter. This is validation. This is the reward for saying yes to things which you will not follow through. Once you have these two parameters, the trigger and the reward, you can then start to find healthy way of dealing with the trigger when it appears and to replace the reward which will be lacking if you do not react in the same manner in which you have reacted so far. So what it does mean to these healthy ways with dealing with when a trigger occurs, both of them, you have to decide them in advance. So let's say someone asks you to do something. Either you if you know it's something you don't want to do. So in the first step, you have to say, I don't know yet, but let me think about it. And then you go home and you think, do I want it or I don't want to do it? And then give the proper answer. And when you give the answer, so let's say, yes, it's a yes, I'll do it, you already have in place a plan to do it. And best case scenario, you also ask someone to keep you accountable, someone you're very close to and who has enough authority upon you to remind you in a manner which actually makes you feel accountable. So this is the first level of it. So how to deal with the trigger when it appears, decide beforehand. Do not rely on your ability to find solutions in the moment. In the moment you will promise again and then not follow through. The second part is to have something which replaces the lacking reward which comes from reacting to the trigger by promising something which you won't follow through. And this can be something you do for yourself. So not the external validation which you receive from others when they are grateful for you accepting their request, but something you extract from yourself. For instance, going for a walk, or drinking a tea, or buying an ice cream if you want, cooking something nice for yourself, whatever makes you feel good. We all have our own ways of feeling good when we are by ourselves. And if you haven't discovered it yet, then start discovering it. Yeah? It's never too late to find new ways of feeling good by yourself, with yourself, instead of relying on this external validation, which then spirals up. It's like an addiction. So the first step is to find a healthy way to deal with the triggers and deciding them in advance. And the second part is to find ways to replace the reward with internal validation gestures or actions. And these two must be decided in advance. And then when the trigger hits, first of all, ask for space, for time. I don't know if what you're asking for me, I can do it. I don't know whether I can do it or not, but let me think. And then you, this is a way of dealing healthy with a trigger. And then you go for a walk or buy a cake, something you feel good about. And number 5, which is seldom talked about, is develop gratitude towards your efforts, towards this habit which helped you discover a good parts of yourself. And by dealing with it, you become a better person yourself. Develop gratitude for every step along the way, and develop gratitude towards having had this opportunity of discovering who you are. And in the process, you'll find new people who are very eager and very willing to guide, to help you navigate the intricacies of dealing with procrastination, and develop gratitude towards those people as well. So that would be for today from me. I hope this helps. I hope I have delivered some insightful ideas in this video. As always, thank you for joining me today, and I'm looking forward to welcoming you very soon again. Love and peace to you all.